What's up, it's your boy Nagee, and we back at it again with another video. I missed y'all. I know y'all missed me. Let's get into it. So today's video, we're gonna be talking about growing up in the Bronx, the BX. So I'm gonna be talking about my experience from being a kid all the way to now to be 26, living in the Bronx, and how it is. The Bronx is lit. New York, that's the best state, city, whatever you want to call it. That's the best. Nothing is beating New York. The Bronx, that's the best. Let's get into this video. Alright, so first I want to let y'all know about the merch. In a couple days I will be dropping my clothing line, so stay tuned for that. I'm gonna be keeping updates on Instagram. Make sure you follow Millions Clothing Brand. Make sure you follow for updates. But we going up. I finally got it right, and I'm gonna be dropping some pullover hoodies. Y'all gonna fuck with them. They fire. So make sure y'all in tune with those. So let's get into the video. So I grew up on the 6th line, Rosedale, Watson over there. I grew up on the 6th line, right? On St. Lawrence. That's my block. I lived here all my life, right? So let's get into it. So the Bronx is really lit. The Bronx is really lit. So living in the Bronx, it was really lit. Like, you know what I mean? So from like, I started going outside at like, what age? It was from 5, right? Because my mom, she was like scared. She's like, nah, I don't want you going outside. Because we lived in the hood. Like, she was like, I don't want you going outside and all that. It's dangerous. But a lot of my family, like my cousins, they lived in the hood. So like, they would watch over me and shit. But it was lit. Like 5, 6, 7. I really started going outside from at like 6 or 7. So I was outside, right? So I was always friendly with everybody, so I made friends with everybody on the block, right? So we used to go to like to the big park and shit like that. The big park. I don't know if y'all know, if you're from the Bronx, Rosedale Park. If you don't know, that shit is lit, right? So back in the day, we would have water fights. I know everybody can relate to having water fights. You would get the little water balloons from the corner store for like $1. It'd be like a dozen in a pack, and then you fill them up with water, have water balloons fights and all that. So what we would do, so when we would run out of water balloons, we would get like regular bottles. You go to like the faucet, you fill it up, and you start splashing niggas with water. You would do that. So the water balloons, and then you would wet the slide. You got your own little slip and slide. You wet the slide, you go in the slide. Like that shit was lit. Like, yo, the Bronx is hanging in the big park, going, and the swings too. I know you know about the swings. The swings was fire. Like, y'all remember them swings that like, it wasn't the regular swings, it was some swings that they built like later on, like it could fit like more than one person on. Like everybody would go on that shit, yo. And manhunt, let's get into manhunt. I remember back in the day we played manhunt. Like it would be like 10 o'clock. Cause I remember I had curfew. Like, you know, we all had curfew. My curfew was like 9:30. Mom used to violate, but I used to be like, yo, mom, can I stay out? I can stay out late. I would have to finesse, so she would let me stay out for like an extra hour and shit. So we would play manhunt. We were like 40 deep playing manhunt. I remember I was like 8 at the time. All my friends, like, they the same age, and the half of them, we playing with people that's in their 20s, teenagers. Yo, we would be like 50 deep playing manhunt. Yo, yo, I remember back in the day, like when you got caught, niggas be like, yo, I got asthma, chill, I got asthma, bro. You know that when they after you, you be like, oh, I got asthma, chill, yo. That's bad funny. Everybody used to put that line. That's mad funny, but. Yo, manhunt was mad lit. Help tag, freeze tag, yo. I remember we used to play ding dong. This used to be knocking on people's doors, and if you from the Bronx, not even from the Bronx, but ding dong. I know everybody done play ding dong. That you knock on people's door, you run down, yo. I remember one time we knocked on some lady's door, right? And she came out with some water. She tried to throw water. It didn't hit me. It hit one of my sons. He got splashed with a bucket of water. I was out of there. Yo, but the Bronx growing up in the hood is lit. Like, nothing could beat it. Another thing, yo, Halloween, like, yo, I remember when I was a freshman in high school, right, they were saying, like, yo, on Halloween, like, the Bloods, they was going to slice you and all that on Halloween. So a lot of people, they didn't want to come to school because they didn't want to get cut up. But every time I went to high school on Halloween, I ain't really seen nothing crazy. I think that, like, that applies to certain people in school, but, like, for me, I ain't really seen nothing crazy on Halloween. But that was always the myth, like, the blood niggas, they gonna cut you up, they see you and all that, but that ain't never happened to me, thank God. But what's another thing? Yo, Chuck E. Cheese. Let's get into Chuck E. Cheese. Like, you know the Chuck E. Cheese on Gun Hill. Like, I know everybody done went there as a kid. That shit was lit. Not the new Chuck E. Cheese, the old Chuck E. Cheese, the one where you had the coins, like, and you know that pizza is fire. Like, that pizza is fire. Now when I go in there, I go in there for like my little cousin party or something like that. I just come for the pizza. Like, that pizza is pain. Chuck E. Cheese got the best pizza. I don't know what you put in that pizza, but I need that. I need that secret formula. I need that shit is pain. But the pizzas, like, I had mad birthday parties there, and then a lot of my friends and family, they had birthday parties there. So, you know, average, you win tickets, it's always lit. Like, that's like a Bronx staple. Like, you know, Chuck E. Cheese, that shit is forever lit. What else we gonna get into? What else we gonna get into in the Bronx? What else is yo back in the day, yo, a dollar could get you like the whole store. Yo, you come in with a dollar, you was the rich, yo, you was the richest nigga on the block. You come in with a dollar, yo, a dollar. Back in the day, let's take it back to like the two from 2005, 2010. Yo, you come into the corner store, the bodega with a dollar, bro. You getting a juice, 5 bags of chips, candy, gum, and like cookies or whatever the case is, and a butter roll. You get Doritos, you getting mad stuff with that dollar. And after that trip, you coming out with 25 cents. Now a dollar, bro. What the fuck is a dollar? Yo, a dollar is nothing. I remember back in the day when I was in middle school, like my mom, she would give me like I think every 2 weeks like $20 at the time, right? So she would give me like $20. So if you from the Bronx, you live by Parchester, you know the movie theaters that used to be the $7 movie theaters. What, bro? That shit was lit, bro. Every day after school, we go to the movies, right? So say like your man's didn't have no money or something like that. Yo, I got my $20 bill. I got you, bro. Like you know what I mean? You could pay for you and your man's, right? And then you could get food after that. Yo, we will be deep in there, like yo. They should have never got rid of that. Was like that shit was golden. Like I was in that movie. That and White Stones. If you know White Stones, you was there all the time. White Stones and the one in Parchester, those are the best movies ever. Now you gotta go all the way to Bay Plaza, like, or you gotta go downtown to the movies, like, you know what I mean? It's nothing the same. Nothing will ever beat that. Like, that shit is crazy. But yo, growing up in the Bronx is lit. Like, that's really undefeated. I can't like in a couple years, I want a house. I want a house with a pool and all that upstate. But I don't think I'm gonna ever leave New York. I think I want to leave like I'll probably leave like 30 minutes away from New York. Like you know what I mean. But I want a house definitely. But like outside of New York, like 30 minutes away. But New York is too. That shit is too lit from the fashion, from the eats, like the lingo. Like you know what I mean. The lingo, like that shit is lit. Like what a time to be alive, right? What else can we get to from the Bronx? Going up in the Bronx. Damn. What's another? Damn. What's another thing? What's another thing? What's another thing from the Bronx? What is another thing from the Bronx? What's another thing from the Bronx? Damn, I gotta think, bro. I gotta think, man. I gotta think. What's another thing from the Bronx? Yo, Chinese food. Yo, back in the day, yo, Chinese food used to be $4.75. All you gotta do is have $5. You getting chicken wings and French fries. Your my order was chicken wings and French fries cut up like with ketchup and barbecue sauce. Sort of. You gotta drown your shit in ketchup and barbecue sauce. That was pain. Nowadays, yo, you get that. That's like 20 cash. Everything went up. Like back in like New York and the Bronx is lit, right? But it's like, yo, back in the day, like, yo, inflation is crazy how everything just went up. It's crazy. Like everything. Yo, you could have like I remember when I was in middle school, like I said, I would get the $20. Mom was giving me $20 every 2 weeks, right? I would have that. I would make $20 last for a whole month. $20 is like a quarter. $1,000 is like $20 like that's no but like yo they need to make shit more affordable in the world like you know what I mean because that's crazy. I remember back in the day a couple years ago $20 could get you could buy the whole damn store like you walk into McDonald's I could buy the whole damn McDonald's and get Burger King fuck around get Taco Bell too. But now $20 is nothing. $20 is like a quarter like I said it's nothing like it's crazy. Yo the next president fuck Donald Trump but the next president make 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 stuff more affordable for the people. If I was the president, I'll make shit cheap as fuck for everybody. Nobody will be poor. Everybody will be rich. Like the world will be a better place. But like I said, that's where we live in. All right. Another thing, Yogi Bear. Yo, if you remember Yogi Bear, the truck that they used to talk about God, they used to talk about candy and prizes and shit. I love the Yogi Bear. They used to be like, God is a good God. Oh yes, he is. He will lift you up. If you know, you know. Yogi Bear was lit. Like if you from the Bronx or like Brooklyn, whatever the case is, like Yogi Bear, that truck was lit. Like that was lit. What's something else, man? What's something? Oh yeah. So like I said back previously, I had curfew, right? So my curfew was like 8 to 9:30, right? So my mom didn't play about that curfew. You know, I grew up in the hood. You know how that go. Like, so we was I remember one time it was a snowstorm, right? So I wanted to stay to like 11. I kept pushing the curfew back. Mom was like, "Come on, Nagee." I was like, "It's snowing." Like, you know, the whole gang outside. I don't want to play in the snow, right? So I wound up staying to like 1 o'clock. Yo, when I came in, she blacked over me. She like, you don't wanna disobey me? I'll show you. She ain't beat me with the belt though, but she just told me, you know, as I get older, like you in the hood, like you understand, like when I have kids, like I want them to be able to have fun, but like curfew, it is important, like you know, because it keep you out of trouble, you know what I mean? But I don't know, I was breaking that shit. I was outside. I was outside, man. Yo, I was. I was outside. Another thing, let's get into it. 4th of July. 4th of July is coming up. Right now we in March, right? We got a couple more months to the 4th of July. That shit about to be lit. But like I said, if you from the hood, you know you can't tell whether it's gunshots or fire. Once the nighttime hit, boom, you don't know. You hear a big boom, you don't know if that's gunshots or that's fire. You will never know in the hood. You will never know if it's gunshots or fireworks. You will never know. That shit is crazy. Yo, that shit is crazy, man. Like, that shit is crazy. But my time growing up in the Bronx was really lit. Like I said, like I can't imagine myself leaving New York. But if, like I said, I want to get a house in a couple years. That's the goal. I'm praying to God that I'm be able to do that. A nice house with a pool. Like I'm gonna grind to get that because I know I could do it. If God wants that for me, I'm gonna get that with the grace of God, right? So like I said, get the nice house with the pool, right? But it's gonna be 30 minutes away from New York. You know what I mean? Like I want to be able to have a mansion, right? Or my family can come over. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna speak this in I'm a manifest this. They're gonna come, like, see the house, like, vacation 30 minutes away, get out, have a nice pool for them. I'm gonna get that. But like I said, the Bronx, that shit too legendary. It's too lit, like from everything. Like, and I had like mad like I, I have so many stories. I'm not gonna go on, but like you get the point. Like the Bronx was lit. If you grew up in the Bronx, you know that shit was like lit from like it just was and then it's like as I got older, like I said, I lived on the sixth line. As I got older, I started experiencing more than like Fordham, like Fordham Road. When I started really getting into sneakers, y'all know I love my sneakers. I got a lot of sneakers, like so, and I'm gonna keep collecting them. So I'm gonna be 75 years old. I'm gonna be an old man still getting sneakers, right? But like I said, Fordham, like I copped a couple pairs from there. Fordham, them prices, them niggas be head cracking. Everyone like 50 bands for a pair of Jordans. But like I love Fordham, like you know what I mean, Flight Club, all the sneakers. But Fordham, like Fordham all lit, like get your sneakers from there. Like they got other stores in there, but Fordham, that's another staple in the Bronx. Hunts Point, like Simpson, yo, that shit is lit. Like you know what I mean? Like the Bronx, it's just too legendary, but like that's just a legendary place. I'm grateful to grow up where I grew up. The friends that I made and shit like that. It's just a lit place, over time, and shit just lit. Like yo, I remember when I was in the middle school, yo, they used to be wild. I remember we used to play booty tag with the girls. Like if you know what that yo, we used to be wildin', man. I remember like in the Bronx, like yo, when you had a crush on somebody, like the whole school would blow that shit up, like, and then you would give your crush a hug after school. Everybody be like, yo, no, they would blow that shit. Yo, the kids nowadays, like I got a little sister, like she about to be 16 in May, right? Like I be taking her to school, so I pick her up, and then it's like the kids is very different. Like I don't know what it's like. It's mad different. Like I feel bad that they never get the experience what we got to experience. You know what I mean? For all my 1999, my 1998 babies, they don't get to experience what we got to experience in the Bronx. Like it just was too legendary. That shit was lit. Like, alright, but this is the end of the video. I just want to talk my shit. I love y'all. Thank y'all for supporting me. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on this video. We going up. We soon hit 1 mil. 1 mil is coming. It may seem crazy, but we going to hit 1 mil. I'm on the grind, baby. I'm on that grind. And like I said, merch is coming. When I drop the merch, right, it's coming. Like I said, in a couple days, right? When I drop the merch, it's gonna be a link in on the bio to like purchase if you want to copy and stuff, whatever the case is. I'm gonna have the merchandise and everything, so y'all gonna love the merch. Guys, I've been working. I got some heat coming. I just want to say I love y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We going up. I'm gonna see ya.